Hey, what's up everyone? Werewolf here. We're back with some more Raging Loop, which is probably going to be a short stream. And I'm not going to be doing any of my dumb voices. I'm just going to talk with mainly my normal voice. Maybe I'll do one or two voices. We'll see. Because it's been a day. It's been a day and I'm tired, so we'll just chill. Do some nice Raging Loop. Nope, that's not it. Well, leaving was death, so let's stay this time. I understand. Thank you, unavailable, and welcome in. Being left out of the feast hardly guaranteed my safety. Obviously, escape was the ideal choice, but at this point, I didn't see anyone guiding me out. All I had to look forward to was either dropping dead somewhere in the mountains, or becoming a snack in this village. The first seemed way more attractive, but unfortunately, I'd gotten attached to the people here. Oh, there we go. The multi-chat shows me what that emote looks like. Usually I'm on Twitch chat, because Twitch chat shows me the redeems. Multi-chat doesn't show me that. But at least with Twitch chats, I can, because of Restream bot, I can see everyone's messages. Doesn't show me YouTube's emotes, though. But all good. Don't be afraid to use your emotes, though. And bending them would, at least, make it hard for me to sleep at night. That's why running away wasn't an option for me. Honestly, it's the same thing where, obviously, you guys on YouTube can't see the Twitch emotes. Unfortunately. You can see them in the stream, but you can't see them in the chat. I'll go ahead and ask. Why aren't you letting me eat Yasumizu stuff? What is this foreshadowing? You noticed? Yeah, and I figured I should clear up anything shady before it comes back to bite me. It's scary. You got me. But really, this is just some insurance. A little medicine for the mind. Oh? Tell me more. You know how it can be, right? You eat something from a strange place, and next thing you know, you've turned into a pig and can't run away. Isn't that Spirited Away? Wasn't that what happened to her parents? Well, I guess that's based off of something. Whatever it's based off of, I don't know. The original myth, I guess. What? Is this hell or something? I mean, that's what it makes me think of, Spirited Away. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. I'd seen that anime on DVD, by the way. Which way to the bathhouse? I can't say it isn't. It seemed like some serious overthinking to me, if not just serious superstition. How long will this last? Oh, Lila, welcome in. Congrats on first. I brought a ton of food from the outside, so you should be fine for a while. Cup ramen, huh? How are you today, Lila? I did appreciate it, but I had mixed feelings on living like it was the apocalypse over a local superstition. Anyway, we went to Chiemi's room and she gave me some cup ramen. We agreed I'd pay for it after all this was over. I'm good, thanks. That's good to hear. I actually skipped 2 meals, so I was still hungry. But I was used to skipping meals to cut costs, so that wasn't a problem. I wanted to relax and think things over, but Chiemi was curious about the others, and I ended up tagging along. It was probably because I wasn't in a position to be by myself. Oh, welcome. Are you here for lunch? Nope, we're just here to kill time. Can we sit? Hydrate. Hello, Kai, welcome in. I literally just hydrated, but I will hydrate again. Welcome in, Catboy Cats. Oops, no, hang on, that's not what I meant to do. They made every girl character a baddie? I mean, pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Kaz flipped his table, did he? I see. Of course. I'll bring you some tea. Can I have just some warm... Can I have some warm water instead? Oh, but tea is good for you. I'm the type who can't sleep if I drink tea. Well, personally, I'm the type that doesn't drink tea. Oh, I see. Warm water it is, then. I'd have liked it if you refused that too. But you use water from here whenever you make cup ramen, right? He's got a point. You didn't realize that? Maybe it's safe when you boil it? Could Hell's water really be purified by boiling? Here you go. I must say, you're quite unfortunate. Your bike was broken and now you're... you know... Oh, it's nothing compared to everyone else here. If I may ask, does this kind of thing happen often? Is it annual or something? I asked something important like it was no big deal. No, it certainly isn't that common. Personally, this is my first feast. I did hear that people died when the mist appeared before, but that was before most of us were here. As in, they hadn't been ostracized back then. I could ask that, but I probably couldn't dig too deep. So this is a first for many people here, right? Yes, I think so. I see. If that's the case, knowledge of the rules seems strangely well kept. You see what kind of place this is, don't you? There's not much in the way of entertainment here, so the little ones grow up listening to the tales of their elders. Old tales and songs are always passed down and survive for a long time. Even so, the fact that it's exactly the way it is, because like eventually you think those kids would grow up and make up their own stuff, right? But apparently not. Songs? Song. Whoa. The mysterious Mako-chan popped out of nowhere. I learned the song. Oh my, you did? Could you sing it for us? I can't sing like that. Shinai-san's guardians are 1 cake, 2 funky, 3 blow, 4 rider. Sounds way better in Japanese. Cake, funky, blow, and rider? So was it about a guy who had a funky birthday party with cake and ended the night on a happy note? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, blow is ending the night on a happy note. The melody seemed familiar though. I guess it was too difficult for her. Mako, so this is where you were. Ah. Her guardian came soon after. Oh my, I'm sorry. We just had lunch, so the place is a bit of a mess. tidy on. Kaori Orebe-san humbled herself. Oh, no. I'm the one who should apologize. I let Meiko wander off here. No need for that. It's a difficult time for us all. You're free to come here and relax whenever you like. Very well. A silent thud. And a loud one. The woman just collapsed. Are you okay? Oh dear. Are you hurt? Apparently, she wasn't trying some unique form of relaxation. She just tripped on the rail for the door. It hurts. She put her hands on her throbbed nose and became teary-eyed. The lady's mysterious vibe crumbled in an instant. And no kidding. The woman noticed my surprise and pouted. She might have been more expressive than I realized. So it's an act. She puts on airs. Please don't look at me like that. I'm sorry. Now that I think about it, this is the first time we've talked. You might be right. My apologies. Huh? For what? I got you involved in this. Alright, Yon. She remembers that, or was that before the choice? Run. Oh yeah, you told me to run away. I saw the evening mist come, but I hoped you could escape. Oh, so that's how it was. A part of me thought you foretold the future or something. Uematsu isn't the lookout family. Now that sounded significant. What does that mean? This isn't something we can share with outsiders. Crap. Jamie's lack of reserve made me forget my boundaries here. I'm sorry. You're wearing some strange clothes, so I thought you were a Shinto priestess or something. Oh. I'm not that important. Haruaki-san, don't bother Rikako-san too much. Haruaki. I said his name wrong. Haruaki. Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Rikako. Idiot. You just called me by my first name. Sorry. Jamie called her that way, so I thought it was okay. Man, this was confusing. I'm not that bothered. You're very bothered. Oh, sorry about that. Huh? You two are getting along. I'd have appreciated it if she didn't put me in a weird situation. I'm going back. What about you, Meiko? I'll stay a bit longer. I see. Come back before evening. And so, she left. She's a bit weird, but still cute, right? I suppose. She is. She's cute, right? Why do you want me to specifically say it? Is she? Which one is it? That's my question. Natural beauty sure have it good. They look young and pretty no matter how old they get. Well, that was some bait. I'll bite. How old is she? I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's younger than 30, but she's definitely older than me. That's older than expected. I know, right? She's so little. And did you see that baby face? Don't trigger me. I mean, at least I'm not a high schooler anymore. At least people see me as like 25 or something. Well, I say that, but there were some nurses like last year or a couple of years ago that thought I was a high schooler. Somehow, I don't understand how. By the way, is she... Hello. We were now joined by the students. Mom, can we come in now? Oh, Yasunaga. Haru-chan. Welcome. Hey, you. Yep, I'm you. At your service. Are you messing with me? I was, actually. What is it, Haru-chan? Makishima-san. You almost called me Haru-chan, didn't you? We've only just met. You don't do that. It's unreasonable. Calm down. Hysteric heroines aren't popular. You're still messing around. I came here to say something to you. Well, say it then. Her behavior was pretty unreasonable too, to be honest. But instead of pointing it out, I just corrected my posture and waited to hear what she had to say. You're getting too close to Chieni. She's pretty busy, so you should leave her alone and do your own thing. Are you jealous? You were busy? I wouldn't say so. Even if she has some free time, she's a lady. So you need to be considerate and keep your distance. It's the mature thing to do. You know what's the mature thing to do? Mind your own business. She's literally right here. And you're talking about her, in front of her, behind her back, in front of her. She can make her own decisions and everything. She can tell me off herself. Well, that's true. If you agree, then just go away somewhere. This is why adults are so unfair. Filthy and annoying. That's rude. Yes, I am a filthy old man. Okay. Haru-chan, did you really come with me just to say that? Oh, Mom, I have a message from Takumi-ni. What is it? We'll be going to sleep early for a while, so maybe we should have packed lunches. Oh, that's true. I should hurry and start making the rice. Also, Fusaishi-san, take this. Voom voom. Huh? Me? I was wondering what that was about. I was busy deflecting Haru-chan's attacks with my stupidity barrier, so being dragged into the conversation surprised me a bit. He gave me a rather dirty, rusty, cheap-looking cylindrical I don't know why I struggled with that. Cylindrical key. It wasn't even attached to a keychain. It's the key to the door. Takumi-ni said he got it from Taiba. Huh? Why did he do that? He said he felt pretty bad about making you sleep outside last night. What a sincere and considerate person. He really is. People like him make a living in a place like this far easier. People like him make living in a place like this far easier. Mom, you really... Oh, the rice. With an awkward smile on her face, Kaori-san went back to the kitchen. I'm sorry you had to see that. Don't worry. I'm just a clueless outsider. I made a blatant lie. Everyone could tell that Kaori-san and Takumi would make a nice couple. Oh, I'm talking about Haru-chan, too. Hey, stop picking a fight with the outsider. Hey, he's bothering you too, isn't he? Not really. Anyway, if you don't have anything to do with the feast, then just get out. Bigot. Stop it already. Why? Fusaishi-san is a victim. Don't be so heartless. What the hell? You're such a dummy. This is such a mess. They had to stop fighting about me. We had an innocent little girl here. Also, Jamie's info was confirmed to be true. Trying to escape seemed dangerous, and recommending it was heartless. Basically, getting out of here was difficult. That made me all the more grateful for the room. I'd been so busy trying to understand what was going on in this place that I didn't even consider how to deal with myself. I'd have to thank Takumi-san. Calm down, you two. Haru-chan, wanna play with Chieni? Play what? Prayer to Shinai. Now? Seriously? I want to show Meiko-chan how it's supposed to be done. Ba? That's fine, but wow, you really care about stuff like this, huh? Yeah, kinda. Something was about to begin. No longer the center of attention, I began drinking the hot water Kaori-san placed before me. The teacup had a strange symbol enameled at the bottom. It looked like a family crest. Like the moons. Yasunaga-kun. What's this mean? Oh, that's one of the Kami Fujiyoshi's head family crests. She should just throw it away. I actually said it in one go. Shocking. His harsh tone made it pretty likely that it was the crest of the Higuchi family. The ones who banished them here. Haru-chan moved a chair and sat down in front of Chiemi. Can I play the man's role? Sure. Let's go. 1, 2. There's no way I can sing. Shinai-san's guardians are 1 snake, 2 monkey, 3 crow, 4 spider. That makes way more sense. What was the little girl singing before? They started playing an action rhyme, much like Ring Around the Rosie, or London Bridge is Falling Down. Fully in sync, they clapped, slapped their knees, clapped again, joined hands, etc., etc., all according to the rhythm. And there was no mistaking it. This was actually the song I had heard yesterday morning. 5, prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. 6, the badger runs along late with Nair as a fix. They were doing it pretty quickly, so I couldn't see everything. But it was definitely complex. I even raised fingers and made fist bumps. Fist bumps? Really? Also, I was pretty sure I'd heard that part somewhere. Prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. Oh. 7, the corrupt Yomibito rise to oppose the mountain. Suddenly, the song changed in tone. The movement switched up too. Haru-chan hid her face, while Chiemi stood up a bit and grabbed her by the shoulders. 8. Death of the damned Yomibito is the mandate. Similar line, but the roles switched. 9. 1 soul per day now to bind. 10. The mists rise away again. They returned to the same tone and movements as before, but then, at a slightly awkward point, the song suddenly ended. Then they quickly stood up and...
Yay!
It's been so long since I did this that I kind of panicked. Apparently they were done. See that, Meiko-chan? This is how it's done. Wow, you were so fast I couldn't see it at all. Alright, Haru-chan, teach it to Meiko-chan. What? Me? Teach me! Well, alright. Yasu-kun, there's something I want to talk to you about. Jamie's tone was serious. What is it? Yasunaga-kun instantly understood that it was important, but he seemed to be mindful of me. If it's about the feast, I shouldn't be here, right? Sorry. Jamie gave me a meaningful look as I left. She'd probably tell me something the next time we met. I'm heading out then. Very well. You take care now. Kaori-san stuck her head out and said goodbye to me as I left the dining hall. I put together what I'd learned. The settlement's beliefs, circumstances, and the inhabitants' stances. I already know, my title worked. I had to make up some random title because I had no idea what to expect. However, Jamie was really the only one I could directly get info from. I couldn't account for any biases she might have had. The other inhabitants, albeit to varying degrees, didn't trust me. I could probably have decent talks with Yasunaga-kun, but his situation seemed to be similar to Amy's. I'd have liked to get more info from the other elders. Maybe my best option was to somehow join the feast myself. From what Chiemi had told me, the feast was a really vile and dangerous tradition. And that didn't change even when you considered the tales and that there had already been lynchings because of this. If he's basically confirmed to not be a wolf and to be safe outside the game, shouldn't you evolve him as like a judge? Normally, something so brutal would have changed and become some harmless festival by now. How did such a tradition survive in the modern day, despite murder and lynchings being completely illegal? Was this place simply beyond the reach of the law or something? Or... it's 'cause I saw God. Or because you'd actually get cursed if you didn't do what the tales told you to. How stupid. Then again, I couldn't really write it off. My stance on gods and monsters was basically that, as long as they could be seen, I was willing to accept their existence. Fair. Same. The belief that nothing was beyond the comprehension of modern science was narrow-minded at best. It's not so much beyond the comprehension of science, but comprehension of people. I think science can define everything. It's just a matter of whether we can understand. I mean, as we slowly go into the future, there's still more and more things that we are figuring out and explaining using science. It's not that science couldn't explain it before, it's that we couldn't. Even with some of the things we thought we had already explained, now we've relearned. Now that we've learned that we were wrong on some things and we've changed. New technologies and methods could easily reveal things that weren't previously undetectable, yeah. This had happened many times throughout human history. The idea that there were strange animals, ghosts, or aliens that were simply beyond our current ability to perceive was entirely plausible. 100%. However, there were disappointing realities too. For example, the original story about something mysterious could have easily been a lie, trick, misunderstanding, or misinformation. Generally speaking, the mysteries of the world all turned out to be one of those. Science disproved things far more than often than it confirmed them, which was pretty damn boring. Surely even Houdini, famous for exposing mediums and other frauds, wanted to believe in psychic phenomena. Probably. He'd searched the world in the hopes of meeting a real medium, but each he found proved to be a fake in the end. Well, considering I'd actually seen something that shouldn't have existed, you could say that I was in a way more exciting situation than him. Though, my life was in danger, so I couldn't really waste time trying to speculate what that thing was. Back to the matter at hand. For now, the most important thing was understanding and surviving the feast. To pull that off, I needed more info. I still hadn't heard how today's talk had ended. Based on the mood of the place, no one seemed to have died, at least. Huh? They died. Shocked, I turned around. Who was this? Actually, apparently it's a guy, and you have met them. It was a girl I'd never seen before. They died. Yes, they did. They all died. You will die too, surely. Welcome to Fujiyoshi, you poor man. The girl turned and ran, her her skirt swaying behind her. I think I tried to combine skirt and swaying. Hold up, Mochi. Oh, hey, you remembered. Whoa, how did you know, Poop Man? Who are you calling Poop Man? And well, your clothes surprised me. Sure, but you should work on your acting skills. Hey, this isn't a costume or anything. Huh? You're saying you wear that normally? Yep, I'm super poor, so the school uniform was the only thing I could wear. But Taiba never stopped complaining about that. That's why I borrowed Haru-chan's old clothes. They're cute, aren't they? Ah. That makes sense, I guess. Well, they are, but you are a guy, right? If I didn't already, I'd have assumed he was a girl. Yep, I have one. You can check when we're pissing together. I'm good. I didn't want to see it at all. Yep, don't want to see it. Are you uncomfortable with your gender or something? But he literally just explained his situation. What do you mean? What? No, I'm a guy. Then why? There's no reason. This is just the way I am. The way you are? I'm an eccentric. There's something wrong with my head, so it's fine. It's hard for me to get along with normal people. But I also can't just do whatever I please, so I ended up being a bit weird. So this is simply your nature? Yeah. Speaking of nature, if it wasn't cold, I wouldn't mind going around naked. Please don't. So basically, this was a guy with a unique sense of, well, everything. Unless he found something that really clicked, he'd have a hard time living anywhere, even in the city. Come over to American cities, I think he'll fit in. You have my sympathies. Hey, Yasumizu's actually pretty easy to live in. You should move here, Poop Man. What does that have to do with anything? Living in the city is hard, ain't it? Nope. It's way more convenient than here. Really? I thought you escaped because something bad happened. Well, I can't deny that. You're a weirdo too, right? That one I can deny. Wait, really? I thought we were birds of a feather. Right, old man? Hello, old man. Whoa. There was a weird old guy in the bushes. I think Poop Man's a real weirdo. I know, right? That's what Poop Man is. Don't you chime in. Poop Man. Please don't spread that name. I don't give a damn if you use Fusaishi or Haruaki. Just stop calling me that. Hassan? Okay. Did I look like a Middle Easterner? I was mildly bothered by the accentuation, too, but he was probably avoiding using nicknames that were similar to Haru-chan's name. Well, whatever. That works. Okay. Poop Man became Hassan. I was never Poop Man to begin with. You're close to the old man? We're fellow crazies. God. Well, the old man seemed to be enjoying it. Join us, Hassan. When the mist clear, we can go steal chickens from Kamifujiyoshi. Why would I do something like that? What are you? Kappas? I think the old man is. Hell, why did he like me that much? Well, that might have been a good thing. He seemed to be a bit more unique than the other two students. By the way, why aren't you with the other students today? Well, Haru-chan was angry, so I felt it wasn't going to be fun with her. Why was she angry? Probably because of us? Haru-chan likes Yasun. Oh? So she doesn't like that Yasun seems happy about Chieni coming back. I see. So why was she mad at me? Woman, make up your mind. Haru-chan actually wants Yasun and Chieni to get together. Well, I sure didn't expect to hear something like that. So she's helping the target of her unrequited love get his sweetheart. Yep. That's why you barging in and getting along with Chieni messed things up for her. So basically, I accidentally entered a love triangle. A very stupid one. Does Chieni-chan know any of this? Pretty sure she does, but she doesn't do anything about it. He has a snowball's chance in hell. Man, this kid was harsh. So yeah, good on ya, Hassan. Chieni is yours. Is she now? And wait, are you okay with this? Why are you asking? Well, I haven't been here for long, but from what I've seen, you're wild with most people, but kinda gallant around Haru-chan. He's thinking. He's thinking. Well, you're probably right. She's a childhood friend and a bit of an airhead, so I do worry about her. That's all. That's unexpected. You seem like the type to mess with such people. I'd mess around with you to the very end. I owe a lot to Yasun, and Haru-chan is an unfortunate girl. You know what? Asking too much at once isn't good. So I'll have you tell me more some other time. Ah, I already said too much. Hassan, what kind of magic did you use on me? He was the one who'd gone blabbing on his own. By the way, he said that someone died. Did they? Well, I know the journalists did. Yasumizu's people are still alive, but they're all as good as dead. Why do you think that? Who knows? I'm not good at reasons, but, well, when Takumi said he was a snake, I had a bad feeling come over me. Oh, it felt like I could hear the wolves laughing. Wait, what did you just say? I think the snake part is what he meant. I could hear the wolves laughing. Before that. When Takumi said he was a snake? Takumi-san is the snake? And that's what he said. I got some urgent business, Mochi. Old man. See you both. The wolf is coming! You knew? Shit. I didn't have the time nor the connections. Muro-san. Huh? What? That was my line. Why was he farming at a time like this? Thank you for the key. But don't walk around by yourself. Everyone's on edge as it is. About that. Do you know how many humans the wolves can kill per night? Chiemi went and told you about it, huh? I insisted on it. In fact, you had to have seen that coming when you sent her to meet me. The info I have is still limited, but I'm a bit worried. Sorry to bother you, but can you tell me more? Sorry won't cut it. It's a huge bother. I don't want to waste any time on this dumb shit. I have a farm to care for. Oh, sorry. I pressed space instead of enter. I thought you and Chiemi would understand, but you're serious about this too. Well, he really didn't seem all that bothered by all this, but... 2 people already died. What of it? Huh? Listen, people die all the time, and I'm always stuck cleaning it up. What? What was he talking about? Did you see the aftermath of the landslide uphill? It's been like that ever since the Nosato got to work on the place 8 years ago and it collapsed. They were too freaked out to even clean it up. I ended up digging out the workers' corpses and burying them. I had no idea that was such a big deal. Then there's the idiots from the city, coming here just to hang themselves or getting eaten by wild beasts. Me and the old man always have to deal with the mess. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's not rare for Saranaga to bring us corpses either. I don't know if they're mountain fishers or something, but it's dangerous upstream, damn it. And yet no one cares. I pick them, give them all nameless graves, and leave it at that. Beasts, corpses, you never know what you'll find in the mountains, kid. But this time, it was in the village. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. I never heard of Asian black bears eating humans. So maybe we got a pack of actual wolves here. You're saying that was done by beasts? And you're saying that was done by humans? What of it? We just have to create a night patrol. Why the hell do we have to kill each other? Wait, but you said you're the snake. Why? How are you gonna say you're the snake and not believe in anything else? Are you messing with me? Or lying about the snake? This person was hard to read. Yeah, no kidding. Sorry, Adion. There was no denying he had a good head on his shoulders. He was reasonable and skeptical about the unknown. On the other hand, there were some things he put up even above rationality. It felt like something you could call Yasumizu's rules, or better yet, fellowship. He looked at the situation from the perspective of, I gotta protect Yasumizu. He did whatever he could within those constraints, but he was in denial about the existence of enemies originating from within Yasumizu. To him, this situation was just a common case of some outsiders died. So what? Or maybe that was what he really wanted to think. That made the situation very bad. But I, being an outsider, couldn't say that. That's true. Like you say, there's something wrong with anyone believing such superstition. He looked displeased. What was I supposed to do? But I'm curious about what I asked first. Do the legends say that everyone dies the first night, or what? I need to know how to feel about this. Oh, that won't happen. Wolves can only kill one person per night. And there's 2 wolves. So they each killed the newswoman and the cameraman. Really? But why? What does the legend have to say about it? Yeah, what did Ba-chan say again? No one can go against the laws of the mountain. Not even the Yomotsu, Okami-sama. Yomatsu Okami? Wolves that return from Yomi, apparently. Huh? Weird. I felt like I had heard that term before. Still, wasn't it weird that the laws applied to the wolves too? They were on the Yamobito side, as in those opposing the mountain. And I was pretty sure the law of the mountain said that only one person could be killed per day. Lynching one during the day was a limit, and killing more than one per night was against the rules. Both would make you the target of the corruption. It didn't make much sense to me, but at least I found out that the wolves, too, could only kill one person per night. Sorry for bothering you with these weird questions. I'll get it out of your way. Oh, right. By the way, if you need an extra pair of hands, just ask. I won't meddle any further than I have to, but you're letting me stay here, so the least I can do is earn my keep. Yeah, sure. His last reply was half-hearted, but at least I got a bit of the rules I was missing. When I came back to the dining hall, I found the students, Chiemi and Yoshitsugu-kun, Yasunaga's little brother. Meiko had left. I am struggling with the names all of a sudden. It's Poopman! I mean, Hassan! Poopman? What? The names still got a chance to spread. That aside, I had to find out what happened at today's feast. Recalling what Mochi told me made this kinda hard. Sorry, but can I borrow Chiemi-chan? Wow, I sure am popular these days. Why, you just can't take a hint, can you? Haru-chan, let's just help Mom. You say something too. It's probably something complicated. I'll be the one who breaks the plates. Don't do that. Haru-chan, you be the one who holds him back. Huh? Hey, what's going on? Sorry about the commotion. What did you tell Yasunaga-kun? We talked about today's feast. Things aren't looking good. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. Chikamochi-kun told me that Takumi-san revealed he's a snake. He did. Are there any other snakes? Others? No, there's only one snake. I think what he meant was, has anyone else claimed to be the snake? No? The mountain gave 4 kinds of guardians. The snake could ask the mountain whether one of the participants was a wolf or not. The monkey was the only one of which there were 2. They had the power to know who the other monkey was. The crow could determine whether the person who was lynched the previous day was a wolf or not. And the spider could ask God to protect one of the other participants from the wolves' attacks. Honestly, if this so-called God really had that power, I'd complain to him that he should protect everyone. And as far as I knew, anyone who didn't have a guardian was either a powerless human or a wolf. The humans could kill a person during the day, while the wolves could kill a person during the night. It was a battle for survival. The humans had to do everything to find and kill the wolves. If they couldn't find a single wolf during the feast, the whole event was completely meaningless. The wolves would simply crush the settlement. If you ignore the fact that it's murder, the fact that you didn't choose a wolf suspect today is pretty bad. It's a day wasted, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I told Yasu-kun. Then there's the fact that the snake outed himself. It's pretty bad. She understood it well. We couldn't expect the help of the police or getting a forensic investigation. Not to mention we were up against supernatural monsters. As things were, the snake's power was the only way to find out who was a wolf or not. In other words, losing the snake would mean losing their most powerful weapon against the wolves. But he should be fine for today. The spider will protect Takumi Ni-chan. Huh? Hold on. We also know the spider? No. Yasu-kun suggested that whoever it is, keep it a secret so that the wolves don't find out. Sharp. Kanzo-ji-chan agreed, and we went with that. Seems like the right move. It does. We probably should have done the same with the snake. They really should have. It was best to secretly gather info without revealing their guardians. Especially for the snake. He should have kept quiet and used his power to find out as much as reasonably possible before revealing himself. I knew it was difficult to figure out right away, but the fact that the snake, the most important role, was the first to be outed was really bad. I feel like... Do they all know already, or is it just the snake that knows ahead of time already? And I don't mean like normally, but like this time around, the snake already has been told who is the snake. Has the others not been told yet what they are? Well, no. Well, maybe. Because they said the spider should protect the snake. So either the spider's going to find out later or they already know. I'm guessing everyone knows then. Why can't they just out themselves now? That would lessen the people to focus on. From my perspective, Takumi Ni-san had been so focused on protecting Yasumizu himself that he'd made a terrible mistake. He appeared calm, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he realized this and was actually pretty shaken. What do you think will happen? She asked like she already knew the answer. The spider was told to protect Takumi-san. The wolves obviously heard that. If they try to go for him, the spider will stop them, right? No idea how, though. Yeah, and with that, they'd lose one day's worth of murders. Jamie seemed to process this as a logic game, too. If I were a wolf, I'd ignore Takumi-san and go for someone else. At this point, the spider just has to protect the snake from now on. Isn't it a good thing that we know who the snake is, then? We don't know who the spider is, so as long as the spider stays safe... You think so, too? Who do you think they'll go for? I don't know. I have no idea what the wolves are prioritizing. Hello, Shoujo. Welcome in. Thanks for the lurk. If they prefer the blood of women and children, they'd probably go for the younger people. Thanks for your daily check-in, Shoujo. Scary. Don't worry. You're not the youngest girl here. Wow. I'll kill you. It's fine. You're still the prettiest. I'll forgive you. Though that still sounds pretty bad. Who knows what they'll do before killing me? Ooh, true. I think they'll just eat you. I'm sure there were plenty of things they could conceive. Apparently, there was another layer to the worst possible scenario. If they're not killing based on their preferences, then they'll kill someone whose death would shake the villagers. That'd be someone influential, or a player who's invaluable to the humans. That'd be Kanzo Ji-chan, or Yasu-kun. That seemed likely. Yasunaga-kun was the only one who'd done something helpful for the villagers this time. He seemed to be the leader of the high schoolers, and had a good head on his shoulders. But his ideas required Kanzo Makishima's approval, which made it pretty clear he was a standout. Honestly, I expected him to take more initiative than he had, but the fact that he considered the younger people's opinions showed real leadership skills. In any case, he wasn't someone the humans wanted to lose. Oh yeah. Did you decide who Takumi-san will investigate? Yeah, it's Kiyonosuke-san. Huh? What's with that choice? What do you mean? He asked for it, and we wanted to prioritize those who were the least popular. It'd make them safer. True, but also potentially makes him. It might make him more of an ass later. I wasn't so sure about that choice. Those who were confirmed as non-wolves would have much more freedom to act. At the very least, they wouldn't be suspected as wolves who were just trying to exploit the situation during the feast. You know what I say? Since he asked to be investigated, and the snake is confirmed, well, the snake outed himself, and so he believes he's the snake, and asked to be the first to be investigated, shouldn't you ignore him and just say you investigate him and investigate someone else? There's not really any point in investigating the one that is actually asking for it. Unless he's trying to play 5D chess and doesn't think the guy's actually the snake. Or he's confident that he can lie his way out of it in case he is the wolf. And Takumi says that he's the wolf. That being the case, shouldn't they have opted to choose a potential leader to investigate? Well, I didn't really know if Kiyonosuke no Satoshi had the skills, but from what I could tell, he definitely lacked the influence to lead. I need to stop with the honorifics. The honorifics also throw me off. If they wanted to secure a reliable leader, they should have went for someone like Kanzo Makishima. But wait. If the snake's target is killed by the wolves, the snake's power will be wasted, right? True. Does it really matter, though? If they successfully kill someone else... Well, yeah, I guess they would want to kill him. Because if they kill someone else, and he's confirmed not to be a wolf, then obviously the people who are dead are not suspects anymore, and this guy wouldn't be a suspect anymore. That would definitely lessen the pool of suspects by a lot. So you realistically want to go for Kyo. The dead can be investigated by the crow, after all. No. Those killed at night are chosen by the wolves, so they're obviously humans. The crow can only investigate those chosen and killed during the daily feasts. Oh, I see. It makes sense. Whatever the case, perhaps investigating Kiyonosuke wasn't that much of a mistake. Did that mean that they were actually doing a decent job? Well, it'd be pretty bad if Kanzo was the one to go. Chiemi looked gloomy. She and I probably felt that it wasn't a complete blunder, but still had a bad feeling about it. During the feast, everyone had to lock themselves somewhere all alone around every sunset. It was called sheltering. Well, I could understand it, considering the legends, but I'd still wondered why the students didn't go to school. It was a weekday. When I asked, they just told me, why would we leave when it's so dangerous? The idea that they couldn't leave when the mist was here was so popular, it affected their daily lives. Also, the people at Kami Fujiyoshi had to know that Yasumizu was covered in mist, right? Considering the school there probably had few students to begin with, the non-presence of the three from Yasumizu would normally be a serious problem. I knew it was a settlement for the ostracized, but did they really neglect this place that badly? Looking at it from that angle, it was safe to assume that the local villages, Kami Fujiyoshi included, actually concealed the feast of the Yami Purge. I thought about that and similar things in room 203 of the student dorm, the place I was given. Chiemi had given me some cup ramen and hot water. We chatted for a moment about being neighbors for a while, and then she returned to her room. Weird we could be so casual about this, considering there was a chance we wouldn't meet again tomorrow. After dinner, I took a bath. The gas boiler was pretty damn old, so learning how to use it took a while. There were some working electrical outlets too, so I could charge my phone. I didn't have a wristwatch, so that was important. By the way, my room didn't have a kitchen. I was pretty sure the other rooms didn't either. From what I could tell, no one here actually cooked or ate their own homes. They all relied on the dining hall to provide their meals. This settlement had not only a unique culture, but a way of life as well. I couldn't help but wonder how something like this began and survived into the modern era. It was an interesting subject to research, but for now, I had to worry about the fact that my life was in danger. Anyway, what were my options now? I wasn't part of the feast, but walking around at night was probably dangerous regardless. Well, you say that, but technically we have the power to revive and restart. We could use that ability to our advantage. After all, I had memories of getting killed doing exactly that. From a logical standpoint, that was probably just a dream, but it had a quality to it that made it hard to believe it was. I had to be careful until I was certain. Then again, I had a record of surviving by just not making any noise at night. Maybe I should have stayed awake and looked around. Also, Takumi had said that they were gonna have someone keep watch at night, didn't he? Was he gonna do it himself? Considering the snake's importance, he shouldn't do something so dangerous. But he's safe, right? How powerful is the spider? Can he literally walk around and come face to face with the wolves and be protected? Shit. They'd barely decided anything in the feast. I wasn't getting enough info either. I felt like I barely knew the basics. Talking during the feast meant giving info to the wolves, but if the humans kept too many things hidden, the wolves would end up knowing way more than them, and that was just dangerous. Still, there was a limit to what I could do in my situation. If I kept being the messenger I was today, I could create a huge imbalance of info myself. Not to mention, I could be deemed suspicious and lose the residents' trust. Shit. What was I supposed to do here? Was it best for me to just stay quiet and wait for the feast to end? That wasn't like me at all. There was a mail slot on the door. I opened it up and looked outside. Everything was still covered in mist, so I couldn't see much. You know what I was thinking? Again, we are an outsider who's confirmed to not be a wolf, more basically. And Jamie has made it so that we are outside of this whole game. So we don't have to worry about anything other than just locking ourselves up. That's all we have to do. I can't help but think, no one's going to trust us. We're an outsider no matter what. But if we're outside the game, if they were willing to trust us, everyone could have just came to us, to Haruaki, and just told him what they were. Like, the snake could have said he was a snake, the spider could have said he was a spider. Like, Haruaki could know all the roles and not tell anyone. And then he can make plans on how to figure out who the wolves are. So he can tell the spider who to protect, tell the snake who to investigate. Because as long as no one lies, at least with the guardian roles, which obviously the wolves probably would lie about that. Actually, they might, but that would probably be dangerous. They'd have to tell so many lies trying to convince him that they're the snake or something. Or if they're the spider and he tells them to protect someone and then that person dies. Well, I guess they would just not kill that person. But he would tell them what to do and who to investigate, and not waste time investigating the spider guy, the crow, the monkeys. I don't know, if only they could trust us, this could go a lot smoother. I could only see the handrail and the branches going in the hallway. But maybe I could see some intruder if I kept staring. Not likely. After all, this was the room at the end of the second floor. Haru-chan's and Chiemi's rooms were closer to the stairs, so I couldn't see anyone going to attack them. The only time I could see the monster come would be when it was coming for me. Maybe keeping watch like this was the most important thing if I wanted to stay alive. But I found it hard to put my own life on the priority list. For some reason, I felt like if I died, I'd just go back to the starting point. Yeah, better not think that. Anyway, I had to stay awake. But it's true. I still had many things to worry and think about. (5:14) Wednesday. What? As I woke up and tried to move, my head rubbed against something tough, and then smacked into the doorknob. I writhed in pain. What was going on? Did I fall asleep against the door? Was I more tired than I thought? I was glad I didn't die at all, but this was a failure in my eyes. Sleeping in an unnatural position made my whole body hurt. I wobbled over to my fully charged phone. It was 6 o'clock. That was early morning for me. I'd have loved to just go back to sleep, but I was too curious about the feast. After washing my face with hot water and putting on my shoes, I decided to take a peek through the mail slot. Seriously, woman? Outside, I saw Chiemi, standing there with a knife in hand. I reflexively stepped back, tripped, and fell on my ass. What the hell was that? There was a woman standing before my room with a weapon. I'd only caught a glimpse, but that was enough to conclude that I was dealing with a scene straight out of a horror movie. What could have prompted this? Did she suspect I was a wolf? Or was she a wolf herself? If she was a wolf, why would she have put us outside the game? She knocked on the door, making me squeal a bit. Haruaki, are you awake? Would she kill me if I replied? Wake up! I need a hand checking on everyone. By the way, I'm armed, but it's just for self-defense. Say that sooner, damn it! Oh, so you are awake. Don't worry, I just put my weapon away. Put it away where? I hesitantly peeked through the mail slot and saw her hopping around, showing me her empty hands. After meeting up with Chiemi, we went around the dorm and woke up the students. All of them were alright. While they got ready, we went to the Nosato mansion, just because it was close. Yasumizu was still misty and unpleasantly silent. I walked carefully, just like yesterday morning. I couldn't write off the possibility that the werewolf would jump out of the mist and tear me apart. It'd be over for me. I was walking ahead, dragging Chiemi by the hand, careful about where I was going. If something happened and I got eaten or something, Chiemi could either fight back or run away. Is someone there? Oh, Nosato-san. It's Fusaishi and Chiemi. Where? Oh, there. We peered through the mist and a gloomy frown appeared. Hey there. Looks like the mansion was safe. Of course. It's old but well protected. Not even monsters could make it in, surely. I see. Then can we all take shelter inside? Why should I let you? This is Yasumizu's problem, not mine. I see. Good point. Then we'll just get moving and solve the problem, I guess. Huh? Wait. It's dangerous. We need to be in groups. Is it dangerous? They're only allowed to kill at night, right? Well, he said they're only allowed to kill one person at night. They're not allowed to kill any other time, right? Really, I was beginning to think this guy was best described as all bark, no bite. Though prideful and vain, he wasn't as smart as he claimed to be, as shown by his inability to take charge of the feast. Also, his fussy attitude was probably just him making up for his fear. It was entirely possible he was just putting on an air and that the mystery of Yasumizu, or rather Fujiyoshi, was actually scaring him. I keep yawning way too much. Anyway, we went downhill and met up with the students. Even a familiar road can be scary. Yeah, mists sure are weird. I can get naked and no one will get mad. I think Haru will. Stop that, you fool. Haru Makishima was acting weird. Mochi was definitely expecting a retort from her. She didn't say anything, and her face was so pale you could tell through the mist. Hanging her head, she was lightly shaking. Everyone else could see it too, but no one chose to address it. Questions would quickly become suspicions, after all. Perhaps she was a wolf and did something horrific last night. Well, the story is that the wolves replace the real people, right? And not that they are the real people. So why would they care about killing someone, doing something horrific? As we all thought similar things, she suddenly collapsed to the ground. Are you alright? Don't touch me! Her hoarse scream shocked everyone. Haru-chan? Nii-chan, I just... Sorry, but right now Yeah, I can understand if you're on edge. Be careful about where you walk. We then slowed down. Haru-chan, not touching anyone's hands, was at the rear of the group. As we walked, trees and stones drifted in and out of visibility through the surrounding mist. Our vision was so limited it felt like the world around us was changing with every step we took. A tunnel of trees, a path on the paddy field, a stone platform, a concrete stairway. We walked between realms every passing second. I was still wondering about Haru-chan. What was on her mind? Was she afraid? Or wary? After descending for a bit, we arrived at the plaza. I see all of you are alright. Well, you're alive. So I guess the snake either protected you or did I say snake? The spider. The spider protected you or the wolves didn't go for you. We met two more people in front of the dining hall. Are the elders sleeping in? Ba-chan's still getting dressed. She's not feeling too great right now. Let's check on those who aren't here yet. Come with me, Kyo. Why are you ordering me? Because we might need some manpower. Fusaishi, you come too. This was the first time he'd ordered me to do something, but it wasn't a situation where I could be happy about him relying on me. Yes, of course. He probably had a bad feeling. Namely, that he wouldn't be able to rely on a certain someone ever again. As I passed by Kaori-san, I heard her whisper, Yasunaga, can you help? With what, Mom? Finding Yoshitsugu. He's missing. Everyone probably had a bad feeling about this. The three of us guys checked the houses. Yasunaga-kun, Chiemi, and Mochi walked around the settlement. We'd agreed to split up and start searching. The misty village was silent. I couldn't hear anyone shouting. I'd seen these buildings from the outside, but it was my first time actually walking in. The shabby buildings built using blackened planks were more or less buried in vegetation. Some were on the verge of collapse. The way their frames jutted from the mist reminded me of the carcasses of giant beasts. I walked on a line between the grass. A footpath surely. I often heard something small jump in the grass. It was probably just some bugs or frogs, but it still made me flinch. Rikako-san lives here, right? Yeah, in that house. Shit. Why must she live in a place like this? If you don't know, there's no way we would. I guess it's the Miguruma's orders. To my knowledge, she moved to Yasumizu of her own accord, and there's no need for her to be here in the first place. Maybe she knew the mist was coming, and came to cast a spell or something to keep it away. That sure didn't work, though. Takumi Muro, I don't mind you being disrespectful of me, but you should choose your words when talking about her. She's a legitimate Fujiyoshi family head, and I was doing so good with that one. Like I care. This is Yasumizu. She said it herself, didn't she? In the feast. We're all served on the same platter. Rikako-san. Rikako-san. Are you alright? Apparently, Takumi didn't like the Uematsu family, or the four head families in general. Now that I thought about it, though she wasn't as disliked as Kiyonosuke, the villagers in general weren't fond of Rikako Uematsu. It seemed like a pretty obvious outcome, though. Yasumizu was a settlement for the ostracized. It was impossible for a member of one of the head families who openly spurned them to form a good relationship with the locals. Rikako emerged before too long. She was wearing her usual strange getup, and she didn't seem any different from how she looked yesterday. I need to check on Meiko. We moved on to the next house. It felt like Rikako was urging me, so I woke the girl up. Meiko-chan, it's morning. Well, I couldn't imagine Rikako raising her voice, while the other two probably didn't feel like they had to get involved with the girl. After a few calls, she finally came out, still half asleep. Okay, she's alive. Why does she baa? Is she a new sheep guardian? Or is she literally a wolf in sheep's clothing? Meiko, I'm glad you're alright. Kyo, take them to the dining hall. Come with me, Rikako. Watch your step. Yes. She was apparently trying to get my attention, so I turned around and said, yes? I'm sorry. Her sudden apology left me completely confused. She then departed alongside the other two, leaving me alone with Takumi. Are you sure we should go on with Kyo without Kyo no Suke? He'd be useless anyway. I only brought him along in case it was the Uematsu's mock princess that died. But now I know who got killed. It could still be the old wolf guy, Shut up. If old man Kanzo was around, he'd have woken up earlier than anyone, and searched the length of Yasumizu 3 times by now. Sorry. His house is over there. I followed him in silence. I couldn't think of anything to say. The fact the door was unlocked made it clear that something wasn't right. The moment I opened it, my nostrils were assaulted by a smell I experienced just yesterday. The reek of a fresh corpse. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it! Unlike Takumi, who was looking away and cursing, I did my best to burn the scene I witnessed into my memory. I felt like to avert my eyes would be disrespectful, and chided myself for wanting to look away. His body was much more intact than Mamiya and Hashimoto. That made it much easier to become painfully aware of the fact that this was a human, an intelligent life form who was with us yesterday like it was no big deal. There was one problem, though. The part of the body that used to be the head was completely destroyed. There was no part of the head left untouched. It was that thorough. It was obviously the result of relentless, heavy, blunt attacks. Everything above the neck was just a strange, flat mass of shattered skull fragments and white and red organic matter. That seems personal. Compared to it, everything else was largely unharmed. The old-looking clothing and the unexpectedly robust chest for someone his age were all the proof needed to know that this was the body of Kanzo Makishima. We'll clean it up? Big yawn. What else? Please wait a moment. What are you gonna do? Find out as much as I can. Since we had no idea when we could get out of here, protecting the scene of the crime for an official investigation meant we had to leave this body to rot here, and we just couldn't do that. And considering the horrible state it was in, the villagers probably wanted to take care of it their own way, as soon as possible. Not much I could do to stop that. Thus, I did my duty as someone without such obligations. His corpse was completely unlike the ones from yesterday. While those two were destroyed completely, the damage on this one was focused on the head. The weapon clearly wasn't sharp. They used something blunt. The skin on his face was torn, but not sliced apart, and the skull was shattered. This was caused by repeated blunt attacks on the head. It wasn't my job to picture whether there was some profound grudge in this. The only clear thing here was that the wolves killed him using something blunt, not claws or fangs. And it was obviously done with dedicated intent, not accidentally. At the very least, the entity that made this corpse wasn't the same as the one that made the ones from yesterday. It made sense if you separated them and assumed that yesterday's was the corruption, and today's was the wolves. But the thing I'd seen when I was walking around at night that time had the appearance of a wolf. Or rather, a werewolf. If the werewolves were the ones bringing the corruption, the tale all this was based on would make even less sense. If the corruption was Great Lord Shinai's, the mountain god's, punishment, it'd be weird for it to be delivered by the wolves. Holding back my nausea, I looked back at the corpse. Then, I rolled back my sleeves and reached to the destroyed head. Hey, what are you doing? I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but I'll still have a look. Decapitation meant body doubles. Mystery Writing 101. I was going to say that earlier, before he mentioned that the guy had the toned chest and everything, proving that it was clearly who it was supposed to be. Because I was thinking, what if the wolf killed one to take their place, but what would be the point of that? Because whoever is the wolf would disappear as well. They would need someone who could act as their double. Who has gone missing. They need to kill someone, hide the body, and then fake their own death. I don't see that. I don't think they're allowed to do that here then. So I don't think body doubles are going to be an issue. If someone brought in and killed a person with a similar build to Kanzo, then left him here, his death could easily be fake. Did Kanzo have a silver-capped tooth in his lower jaw? No, he didn't. His voice was strangely forced. I looked at him and realized he was kind of pale. I might have overdone it. Still, I couldn't be soft in this situation. He was proud that he didn't need any crowns or anything despite being over 60. Why? Did you find one? No. I only asked to prevent any misdirection. It's a healthy set of teeth. What the hell? The lower jaw was mostly intact, while the upper one was destroyed along with the rest of the head. Despite that, I saw a hint of the old man in the eyebrows, and the dark hair with streaks of gray in them. It was pretty clear it was the one and only Kanzo Makishima, so it was probably pointless to keep thinking about the way he was injured. My hands were all messy. I'd have to wash them later. The corpse aside, Kanzo was lying on some thin bedding, and there was no sign of a struggle. He was either instantly killed by the first attack, or knocked out, laid here, and then killed. Still, it wasn't a corpse that was easy to make. The situation here was peculiar. One point I found curious was the fact that Kanzo surely obeyed the shelter law and locked himself in. However, the lock on the door was still perfectly intact. So logically speaking, Kanzo had opened the door and let the culprit in. There was no sign of resistance, so it was probably done by someone he felt safe with. Ba-chan? However, if this was a normal killing by the standards of the Feast of the Yami Purge, then this was definitely made possible by something unnatural. Back to the situation at hand. The futon and everything around it were bloody, obviously. But there was another strange thing about the crime scene. The dampness. Did the wolves mark their territory? Some spots were really wet, and clearly not because of the mist. It was like the murderer purposely spread some water here. Were they trying to wash away the blood splatter on them? There was no point in doing it in front of the body. The footprints were faded. Were they trying to cover their tracks? They were still pretty visible, though. It was more like they put bloody footprints on a futon and tatami that was already wet. The shape of the prints told me that they weren't made by Western shoes, Japanese clogs, or wild beasts. They were just long ovals, reminiscent of those made by Zori sandals. There weren't many of them, though. Most of the blood was absorbed by the futon. But from what I had, I could tell there was only one type of footprint. Find out anything? Nothing special. Thought so. You don't specialize in this, do you? Sadly, no. All I knew was that the culprit was a very dangerous human. As I washed my hands, Takumi removed the sliding door and put Kanzo's remains on it. He covered his destroyed face with a nearby hand towel and prepared to carry it. You take the other side. Got it. We lifted it up, and yeah, this was definitely a job for two people. We went out into the mist. Are we throwing him into Saranaga? That's what Ba-chan would want. Because he'll be corrupted if we don't. Yeah. A voice devoid of life. I couldn't call out to him. Pushing him further was dangerous. I could tell by the air about him. It's my fault. Why? Because I messed up in the feast. That was entirely possible. This proved he was aware of it himself. I would have said that, but it felt wrong. I don't know much. But I think you were trying to do your best. But what's the point if I mess up like this? Then you need to make up for it. I think I'll have to be the one who leads Yasumizu now. I can't. Well, I couldn't either. I was just an outsider, so I had no idea how to console him. Feeling powerless, we approached the dining hall. We'd pass by here and go straight for the graveyard. Taeyama Waki had come out too. She was in the midst of prayer. Kaori, Oribe's son, was standing next to her. She looked completely out of it. Rikako Uematsu was covering Meiko's eyes and looking straight at me. Haru-chan, Kanzo's actual granddaughter, was watching her grandfather's corpse with an intense expression. It probably wasn't good to make any assumptions here, but I couldn't help it. I felt like her expression was full not of unbearable sorrow, but of anger, hatred, and disgust. I'd never seen them have a nice chat, so I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't see eye to eye. But still, I'd have liked it if she made a different expression, if only for this moment. I could only think that because I was an outsider who didn't know shit. It wasn't good to make assumptions. Shit. Why was I in this position? Just how much could I even learn in my position? But, as it turned out, I was still underestimating the situation.
ヨシ君がどこにもいない。
2 deaths? We can't find Yoshi-kun anywhere. We met Chiemi on the way to the graveyard. She and the two high school guys were still searching, but the mist made it extremely difficult. We told her we'd join once we buried Kanzo and picked up our pace. The graveyard wasn't that far. Yasumizu wasn't very big. It only felt like it because of the mist, or the load. He's gonna survive for a long time, isn't he? I'd completely forgotten about him. He was alright too, huh? I think he could literally run around and the wolves wouldn't care about him. I mean, if they wanted to get a kill, maybe they'd kill him, but I feel like having him under suspect would be better. Because he's crazy. They don't really need to care too much about him. They'll get him eventually. They could save him for last. And have him be a suspect. I had no idea why, but he was looking at us, clapping and laughing. That meant that Yoshitsugu, Oribe, was the only one who we hadn't seen yet. I was told there'd be only one. The wolves were supposed to kill only one person per night. Wasn't it one person each? Wait, was it one total or was it one each? Because they killed the newswoman and the cameraman. Not saying a word, I heard to finish the job. That led us to finding him early. Yoshi-kun was on the shortest path to the cliff, in the grass of the graveyard. Though Takumi had only just noticed him by chance. That was how deep in the grass he was. And how many pieces of him there were. It reeked of death, too, but it was mixed with the smell of trampled grass, and a strange beastly odor. Maybe not all the blood around here was his. Unlike Hanzo, he left clear proof of a tough battle and intense pain.
Yoshi.
You had guts. Takumi's voice was shaking. He picked up a soccer ball-sized object. Don't tell me it's the head. Oh god. Half-eaten, and basically a shadow of what it used to be. It clenched its teeth, even in death.
いいですか?
Can I? Takumi gave it, Yoshi's head, to me, and I put my finger in its mouth. I was curious about what was stuck in there. What I found was a clump of beastly fur. Oh my god, he was a fighter. He literally fought tooth and nail, resisting until the very end. Resisting what? Obviously the being that brought the corruption. It didn't take long for the news of Oribe's death to spread across the village. I'd heard that the pain of losing one's child was beyond any description. Even so, Kaori Oribe broke down so badly it felt abnormal. The mild-mannered woman became a mad beast. We had to band up to keep her from running to where we found Yoshi's corpse. I need some water. We'd already gathered it up and thrown it into the Saranaga after all. Takumi kept a tuft of the boy's bleached hair, which he gave to Kaori-san. She instantly put it in her mouth? Why? Okay. Through her wailing and choking, she did her best to chew and swallow it. It was a wretched, gloomy, and miserable sight. Though it might have been an act born of ultimate motherly love. Whatever she's gonna rebirth him. She's gonna take that DNA and rebirth him. Whatever the case, no matter the shape, it was too late to try and bring her child back into herself. Not to mention absurd and pointless. That was how it looked like in my eyes. Let's begin the feast. Can I join? We gotta do something about the one who killed the old man and Yoshi. His words got the attention of basically everyone present. Well, you have a lot less suspects now. A lot less. But they didn't reach the sobbing mother and her older son, who was gently consoling her. Yoshi. Why did he have to go against the laws? His efforts in death had only worked to corner not just his mother, but everyone else here. It was useless. He'd gotten some weird fur for us? No one, not even me, had any doubts about what we were dealing with here. A situation where everyone was desperate, acted on their own accord, and didn't know how to use their lives well was basically the worst. Well? Takumi was trying to be in denial. I guess he can't be in denial now with that tuft of hair. Of fur. And apparently, this line of thinking I had had would foreshadow the next turn of events. Where did Haru-chan go? Shit. Why was everyone in such a hurry to do the worst things possible? Chiemi, Chikamochi, Takumi, and I went out to search for Haru. Kaori showed no signs of coming down, so Yasunaga stayed with her. Kiyonosuke refused to come, arguing that it could be bad if there wasn't enough manpower around the dining hall, and he wasn't wrong about that. It wasn't unlikely that some fur-covered murderer, or Haru-chan's kidnapper, was still around. To prevent any surprise attacks or accidents, we split into pairs. We were given a hoe and a sickle for self-defense. Be careful, you two. Shout if something happens. Loud enough so we can hear you, but low enough that the others can't. Alright, let's go, Mochi. Time to do work, Hassan. The skirt would have made the search harder for him, so he changed into his school uniform. It wasn't cut out for the job either, but he had no other clothes. At least it was better than a one-piece dress. He seemed to enjoy wearing girls' clothing, so changing into the uniform was probably his way of showing he was serious about this. He kept his easygoing tone of voice, but I felt like there was gravity in his eyes too. He might have been pretty shaken. We walked around Yasumizu, shouting until our throats became dry. We checked every bush, all the patches of tall grass, and behind every tree. We even searched the water around the paddy fields, but it didn't feel like we were any closer to finding her. What do you think happened to her? I don't know. Maybe she's shocked by her granddad's death. No. Before that, she'd been acting weird since this morning. Was she? Is she really fidicious or something? Fast what? Ah, a clean freak. Hates anything dirty. I think I saw hints of that ever since we first met. Oh, I'd say she's just the greatest scaredy cat here. Scaredy cat, huh? She was always really afraid of all the corruption talk. Maybe she was just scared of getting corrupted. I see. Fear based on superstition. That made sense, but why had it suddenly gotten worse? What happened last night? That's why I don't think Haru-chan could kill anyone if she was a wolf. Well, again, you guys said that the wolves replaced the people, don't you? Not that the people suddenly become wolves and suddenly betray everyone. So it's not like it would be the real Haru. Is that what you think? I don't know if she is one or not, but I don't really think she could if she was. How prudent. That's not like you. Well, we're not talking about me here. I don't want to try and get a read on you. I just want to hear your ideas on what's going on with Haru-chan right now. I have no idea who or what you're confused about. But to me, Haruchan is as important as Yasun, if not more. I don't really care about anyone else. So we should just find her.
正論だ。
Good point. But no matter how hard we searched, we saw no sign of her. She could have been hiding somewhere. Or maybe she'd collapse. But I was beginning to entertain another idea. She's dead.
彼女が安水を出た可能性は
Oh. Well, she'll definitely be dead if she... What if she ran away from Yasumizu? I asked, knowing everyone would deny the idea.
相当考えにくいけど
That'd be hard to believe.
霧の安水は
When the mist comes, Yasumizu is connected to Yomi. Ba-chan's words. So anyone trying to escape would just end up here. And not to mention, those mountains are dangerous.
その心情は承知
All
した
that
上で
considered,
それでもあえて
if there was something that'd
彼
drive
女
her
が
to
村を逃げ
escape
出
from the
したと
village,
した場合
what could it
彼女
be?
にどんな心境の変化があったと考えられる
Everyone fell silent. They couldn't even imagine it. It was like their brains had stopped working. If she'd actually wandered out into danger, then we'd wasted too much time searching for her in the village. I had to hurry, so I didn't hesitate to use some big assumptions that bordered on chicanery?
彼女にとってこの村があるいは人が
What if she could no longer trust the village or the people here?
どういうこと
What do you mean?
深夜あるいは早朝に
She might have seen something at
彼女は
night
何か
or
を
early
目
morning,
撃したのかもしれ
or
ません
come to some sort of
あるい
realization.
は何らかの証拠に自分のよく
Like,
知る
for
人物
example,
が
What if she found out that someone she knows well is a wolf who killed people like it was
そ
no
の
big
事実
deal?
を確信できるような何かにね
Everyone gasped.
彼女は若い
She's young,
不安定
so
な
she's
と
still
ころもあ
pretty
る
unstable.
安水は狭い
And since
世界だから
Yasumizu is so small,
心の拠り所
it
が
wouldn't be
失われ
strange
れ
if
ば
she felt like she
居場所
lost her
がない
place
よう
here
に
if
感じ
someone
られてもおか
betrayed
し
her.
くないし苛烈な性格である
The
ハル
girl
ちゃん
seemed
な
pretty
ら
emotional,
一年
so it
発
makes
して
sense that
脱
she
出を
jumped straight to
試みる
running away,
なんて
right?
ことも考えられるんじゃないか
説得力あるな
You make a solid argument.
しかしならどうする
But then,
諦
what do
め
we
ろとする
do?
のか
Give up? That was a thought of someone from Yasumizu. I'll go look for her. I'm not afraid of the corruption. And that was a thought of someone from Yasumizu who had a few screw loose.
そんなわけで
Anyway, I'm an outsider. I'm not exactly averse to leaving anyways, so I'll look for her too.
だからそれ
I said I'd stop you, didn't I?
大丈夫
Don't worry. I'll head back the moment it gets dangerous. She definitely won't head in Saranaga's direction, so I'll focus on the path to school.
それに
Also,
大人が子供を
adults
見捨
shouldn't
てる
turn
わ
their
けにはい
backs
か
on
んでし
children,
ょ
right?
というやつで
Right?
ハッサン
Hassan!
反論しようがないよ
I can't argue against that.
もちろん彼女がまだ
Of
休み
course, it's possible that she's still in Yasumizu,
二人は
so
引き
you
続
two
き
keep on searching for her
修学内を
here.
探していただけますか任せてくれ
Leave it to me.
危なかったら
Run away if it gets dangerous.
ハッサン、さっき言ってた話さ。
Hassan! What about what you just said?
どれ
What do you mean?
ハルちゃんが何かを
You
見た
know,
から
the thing about
誰も
Haru-chan
信
losing
じなく
trust in
なって
everyone as a
逃げた
result
って
of something she
話。
saw.
うん
What about it?
多分本当じゃないよね。
That didn't actually happen, did it?
さあ僕はあくまで可能性と
Who
して言ったに
knows?
過ぎないが
I was just
本
raising
当
the
かもしれない
possibility.
とは思ってるよ
It's likely, though, isn't it?
例えば僕やヤッスンが
So what?
牙とか
You think she
生や
saw
して
me or Yasun
うろつい
walking
てる
around with a
のを見た
mouthful
と
of
か
huge fangs?
まあそれも可能性
That's
だ
a
ね
possibility, too.
うーん
What's with the grass rustling?
なん
Are we
ていう
just
か
walking? I think we're just
そう
walking
じゃ
along.
ない気がする。
Not sure I buy that.
ただの感慨
Is that just your intuition talking?
そう。
Yep,
た
it
だの
is.
勘だけど
Speaking of which,
それで言えこの読み意味の
I also feel like this feast of the Yummy Purge is designed to keep the wolves from being outed easily.
ようにできてる気がする。
How so?
夜出歩けないから目撃
You
が
can't
で
see
きな
them
い
at night because you
一
can't
箇
walk
所に固ま
outside.
って相互監
You
視も
can't
で
stay
きない
gathered in one place and
警
watch each
察を
other.
呼べないから科
You
学
can't
捜
call
査
the
も無理
police, so there can't be any investigations.
おまけに全部霧
And
の
since
中で
everything's covered in
何が
mist,
何だか
things
わ
can
からない
happen
う
without
ちに
anyone
ことが
realizing.
進んでいく。だからそういう証拠とかじゃ
That's why you can't get that sort of solid proof. How could the players send people to be hanged without the slightest bit of material evidence? If you ignore the weird guardian powers, it was all quibbles, agitation, sophistry, emotional arguments, connections, popularity. Basically, the power of communication. Pretty much.
よくわからんけど
I don't really get why, but yeah, I think it's designed that way on purpose. Nothing was certain. They were put in a dangerous argument, with their only weapon being their eloquence. It was a feast of doubting, hurting, and eventually killing one another. If there was such malice behind this, then Chikamochi Kamoshida had a point.
もしや君は探偵タイプなんじゃ
Are
ない
you a
の
detective or something?
え
Huh?
い
No,
や
that'd
そ
be
れは
Yasun.
休んだな
He might know more than he lets on.
やつはもういろいろわかってるかもしれないぞ
I'd have to talk to him then. We arrived at the mountain pass separating Yasumizu from the rest of the world. The large stones at the sides were like torii without a top. They might have had religious significance.
別にここから一歩でも出たらアウトなんてルールは
There's
ない
no
よね
rule against stepping beyond here, right?
宴から逃げちゃダメだっていうのは
Only
ある
that
け
you
ど
can't run away from the feast. We were going out to find Haruchan, so we were good. Ignoring the fact that Haruchan was breaking that law, we passed between the stones. But we soon had to stop. The path was blocked by a landslide. According to Mochi, despite being pretty rocky, the ground in this area was strangely fragile, so landslides weren't that uncommon. There had been some pretty bad rain 3 nights ago, hadn't there? If that was related to the mist's appearance, it wasn't unlikely that we'd get both the mist and this landslide at the same time. Despite that, this felt just a bit too convenient. I had to consider the possibility that the people in the settlement above blocked the road to keep the Yomibito from getting through.
ハッサン
Hassan! This
これは
is... There was something way more important. We found footprints in the still damp mud. It was proof that she'd passed through here. They disappeared into a small cliff that only reached up to my shoulders. She had to have climbed up and disappeared into the forest.
急ごう
Let's hurry.
だな
Yeah. The term virgin forest was used to describe forests that were still untouched by mankind, letting nature have complete control over it. Many of the cedars here looked imported, so that term probably didn't apply to this one. However, it wasn't intended to whatsoever, so the words natural or undeveloped definitely worked. There were many fern saplings on the surface, a canopy of leaves above, and a thick mist all around. It certainly didn't feel like a place humans were welcome. For better or worse, the new ferns seemed slightly trampled, indicating someone had passed through recently.
こっちだ
Over here.
気をつけなよ
Be
彼
careful.
女が迷った道
She got
は
lost in this road after all.
るちゃ
なあ大声出して
Should you
大
really
丈
be
夫か
shouting like that?
ん山の基本
It's one of the basics of living in the
獣は声で
mountains.
逃げる
The beasts run away if you scream. Oh, yeah. I'd almost forgotten about the very real threat of wild animals. I realized I'd lost myself in the mood and became kind of embarrassed.
はるちゃん
返事して
Say something! Shouting over and over, we kept moving forward. She tried to follow the path, but all the cliffs and boulders in the way made her stray from it. 10 minutes later, we lost all sense of direction. Yeah, this place really was dangerous. Would we really find her? Even if we did, wouldn't it be too late? I was reminded of Yoshi and his cruel fate. Were we about to lose yet another life? As my thoughts turned to that very real possibility, She's crying? Is she crying because of her grandfather? I heard some weak weeping.
はるちゃん。
もち来ないで
Mochi, stay away.
無事なのか？
Are you alright?
お願い
Please,
来ないで
don't come after me. I had a bad feeling about this. Something really bad might have happened to her.
待ってて。
Wait up!
あ、おい。
Ah, hey. Chikamochi went after the voice with no hesitation. His body was quickly buried under all the plants and mist.
ハッサン、手を貸して。
Give me a hand, Hassan! His lack of hesitation felt dangerous in some way. Was I just imagining it? Anyway, I went after him and quickly caught up.
痛いよ
It hurts. It hurts. Haru Makishima was buried under all the greenery.
足だね。
It's her leg. Stop. Ow! I walked up and, man, this was pretty bad. Her leg was all covered in blood. Her shoe and foot were pierced by a sapling that was broken right at the bottom.
こいつを踏み抜いたのか。
She stepped on this?
枝を折れるか。
Can we break it off?
無理め。抜くし
Nope.
かない。
We gotta pull it out.
傷が開くぞ。
That'll open the wound.
血止め草と毒
There's
ダ
some
ニが生えて
lawn
る
marsh, pennywort, and chameleon plants here. Let's close it with them.
そんなことができるのか。
You can do that?
ノサトは薬作ってた
Nosatu is the
家だ
family
から
that
ね
made medicine. First I heard of that, but I had no choice but to believe him. She resisted verbally, but she was too tired and weakened to do it physically. I picked her up, doing my best to ignore her wailing, because of the pain, and pulled her away from the branch. Chikamochi quickly took care of her wound and used a handkerchief to stop the bleeding.
戻ろう。
Let's go back. Can you carry her?
もちろん。
Of course.
君が追
You
わな
sure
く
you
て
don't
も
want
い
to
い
do
の
it
か。
though?
なんだかな。
Who knows?
単に
I just
体
don't have
格
the
の
build
問
for
題
it.
さ。
I thought of saying that Haru-chan would have preferred him, but she was barely conscious thanks to the pain. We didn't have time to waste on sentimentality.
先導は頼む。
Lead the way.
ミイラ取りがミ
One
イラだ
lost
けは
person
勘
is
弁だ
enough。for one day.
戻るだけなら余裕。
Going back is easy,
ただやっぱ
but
り
man, it really
山
does
を
look
抜
like
ける
getting
のは
out is
もう
impossible.
遅い。
はるちゃん。よ
Well,
か
I'm
っ
glad she's
た。無
alright.
事だったんだ。
Why did she walk away from everyone, though? I want to know that. Haru-chan, I'm so glad you're alright.
あんま無事じゃない。
She isn't, Takumi.
匠に。
Call
タイバー呼
Taibe.
んで。
Taiba.
傷の手当てしなきゃ。
We've got a wound to patch.
わかった。
Got it. Our return caused quite a commotion, and by the time things had begun to calm down, it was way past noon. Haru Makishima's escape attempt distracted everyone, but none of the problems were actually solved. Kanzo Makishima was killed by the wolves, while Yoshi was taken by the corruption. Yoshi's death was especially problematic. Each meaningless death was yet another obstacle against resolving the feast. I mean, again, we know who the snake is. And the snake investigated someone, so that's 2 people down. We don't know who the spider is, unfortunately. Even if they picked and hung someone during the day, it wouldn't guarantee that there'd be one less wolf. It was way more likely that they'd get rid of an innocent. Even worse, the wolves in the group would most likely try to leverage the hangings in their favor. They'd claim to be innocent while casting doubt and blame on the other survivors. To win, the humans needed to do their best to see through such trickery and identify the wolves, possibly even making them confess. That was how I saw it, anyway, and I was the one with the least info here. With that in mind, all humans who died by breaking the rules were actually doing the wolves a favor. If she'd actually disappeared, I'd have said the same about Haru Makishima, assuming she was human anyway. Perhaps someone encouraged them to break the rules. I was wondering that, actually. If that was the case, the wolves were ruthless. knew the rules well, and were steadily advancing towards a complete victory where all humans lay dead.
集落の有力者あるいは
That'd be someone
今後のゲー
influential,
ム展開
or
を
a player
左右
who's
するよう
invaluable
な
to the
優
humans.
秀なプレイヤー
So whoever the wolf is actually smart, and the humans are dumb.
肝臓じいちゃん。
Based?
あれはヤス君。
That'd be Kanzo, or Yasu. And just as we feared yesterday, the wolves had silenced one of the most important people in the feast. It was hard to believe they'd chosen him just because they were scum or because they didn't like him. The situation was really bad. Another thing to note was that Yoshi's death greatly affected Kaori-san, who was responsible for everyone's meals. That was a major problem.
皆さん。
Good,
お
good
疲
good work,
れ
everyone.
様で。
Here's some...
あの。
When she tried to give us tea once, we returned from the search, her face was pale and she was shaking like she was having a seizure. Despite her attempt to carry on as normal, her composure was in pieces. It was so painful I could barely watch. Oop, my fingers tired, played 150 levels of a game in 1 hour to get the dollar I needed? Damn. But welcome in. I'd say definitely let your fingers rest. Takumi should have been supporting her, but he was just gloomily hanging his head. In the end, Chiemi had to lend Kaori back to her room and stay at her side. I could only hope that that was enough to calm her down. However, it was nearly time to do the inevitable. I recall you saying that we should start today's feast. Now is as good a time as any, don't you think? Kiyonosuke addressed the downhearted people gathered in the dining hall. He just wants to know if he's cleared or not. Does it look to you like anyone's up for it? The day will end at this rate. The wolves are clearly intent on killing us all. Can we really waste time waiting in a situation like this? It'd work in their favor. We have to pick someone to hang, no matter what. 150 is nothing once I played 600 levels of a game in one day. I see. Crazy. Don't you agree, Muro?
分かったよ
Alright.
安永
Yasunaga.
上の連中にまず
Try talking to everyone upstairs. That was where Tai looked after Haru, and Chiemi looked after Kaori.
あ、僕行く。
Oh, I'll go.
いいよもっち
You don't have to, Mochi.
いいからさ。
Just let me. Chikamochi winked at me for some reason.
時間かかる
It
かもよ。
might take a while.
あ
Yeah,
ぼちぼちでいい
take your time.
全員
Everyone has to be there after all.
用意。
I will go prepare.
よろしくお願いします
Please do. Oh, wait! Now was my chance.
安永君ちょっといいかい
Yasunaga-kun, can we talk?
え
Huh?
なんでしょ
About
う
what? Wolves, eh? I'd take care of them. I needed a new rug
残念だっ
anyway.
たね
No, no, no. I know they're cold-blooded killers, werewolves, but wolves are my brethren. No, not really. Sorry about your brother.
はい
Thank
そう言
you.
ってもら
That
え
makes
て
it a bit better.
あいつも
for
少
him
し
and
は
I.
救われると思います随分と大人びた言い方を
That's
す
a
る
very
んだ
mature way
ね
to talk about it.
もうちょっと素朴な方が
Maybe I
良
should
か
have
ったで
sounded
す
more
か
my
ね
age then. This boy was already pretty mature.
兄弟の仲はあま
You
り
didn't
良
get
くな
along
かっ
with him.
たいえそんなこ
That's
と
not
は
it. We didn't always see eye
最
to
近
eye,
ちょっとす
especially
れ違い
recently.
気味だっただけで
But he was a really good guy.
本当はあいつそれは僕
I
も
think
そう
so
思う
too.
よ
It seemed
心
like
から
deep
グレてる
down,
子じゃなかっ
tough
た
guy
ろうし
routine was really just an act.
お母さんとの
Did
仲
he get
も
along with your mother?
ええ
He did.
悪い言葉を
Despite all he
使ったり
said,
もして
he
ました
really
が
loved her, and
義
she
経
probably
は
loved him
母
more
の
than
ことが
me.
好きでしたし母も多分僕よりは義経のこ
What in the
と
world? Are you saying that now because of the way she's acting, or?
ああいや
Oh, that's
そんなこ
not
とを
what I
聞
was
きたいん
asking.
じゃなかったんだ
Sorry.
ごめんごめん
All human relations were complicated. Prying too deeply wasn't a good idea. Maybe you just need to feed the wolves a deer laced with wolfsbane and coke? Probably.
すみません何を答えましょうか
I'm sorry. What did you want to know?
いくつかあるんだけど、主に伝説上
A
のこと
few
だよ。
things. Mostly about the legend.
それならタイさんの方が。
Tai is the better person for that.
もうちょっと
I
理
need the
屈のわ
opinion
か
of
る人
someone
に
more
聞きたいと
rational.
ころなんだ。一つ目、
First question.
狼は
Why
ど
do you
うし
think
て
the
人を
wolves
殺
kill
すん
the
だと思う？
humans?
それは
Because they're angry at
か
humans
つ
for
て
tricking
人
and
間に
killing them.
騙されて殺された恨みで。言い直そ
Let me
う。
rephrase
狼
that.
役の人間はどう
Why
し
do
て
the people giving the
かつて
role
の
of the
仲間
wolf
や家族
suddenly
を
become able to
ため
kill
らい
their
なく
friends
殺
and
せるん
family
だ
with
と
no
思う？
remorse?
え？
Huh?
あ
Uh,
あ、え
eh,
え。もしかして、
are you
僕や
suspicious
ハ
of
ルちゃんを
Haru-chan and
疑っ
I?
て。ああ、いや、
Oh,
ご
no.
めん、そうじゃない。
Sorry, that's not it.
一般論で考
I
えて
want
み
you
て。
to look at this from a
じゃあ
general
君が、
perspective.
はい、あ
Say
んた
you've
は
been told
狼
that
で
you're a
すっ
wolf.
て言われて、
Could you
それ
just
じゃあ
accept
仕
it and
方な
start
いっ
killing
て
people?
殺人ができる？
Am I imagining that someone said that the wolves replaced the humans? I could have sworn someone said it that way, but it seems like no. It seems like you get the wolf and you just start killing your own people.
できるわけないでしょ。
No way.
そう。
Exactly.
できるわけない。
No way you could.
無論。
Of course,
でき
there
る
are
人
those who
間もいる
could,
だろうが、
but most couldn't,
良識や
either
恐
out
怖
of
か
fear
ら
or guilt.
できない人間の方が多いんじゃないか？
I think the most sensible thing is they turn into werewolves and have no control over it. But they would know that they're werewolves. What prevents them from just like talking about it, from confessing?
特にモッチーなんかを見てると思う。
Unless they don't
こ
know,
この
but
人たち
like
は
have
特定の
suspicions
概
of
念
it.
的存在に恐怖を持ってるが、それは絶対じゃない。
Mochi is a good example. The people here are afraid of certain things, but they do have lines drawn in the sand.
自分の好き
After
な人を
accidentally
守るため
snorting
には、
radioactive booger
汚れや
sugar,
狼に立ち向か
Snozzle
うことだって
Bloden
できる
becomes
はずなん
Coke
だ。
Man, using his high-induced speed and strength to fight crime and clean up the city, one Coke line at a time. That's quite a superhero. Or some kind of hero. If the lives of those that they care about are on the line, they won't hesitate to face the corruption and the wolves.
それは、
And that's only
モッチーが
because
特
Mochi
別
is
なんです
special.
よ。
He's a
あい
genius.
つ、天才？
Genius?
ええ。
Yes, he can easily
普
make
通のやつ
predictions
に
and
できない
decisions
予
normal
想や
people
決断
can't.
を平然とやって
And
く
he'll
れてま
readily
すし、
throw away anyone or
本
anything
当
he
に
doesn't care
大事な
about.
もの以外は全部捨て、他の人はあいつがお
Everyone
か
else
しいん
thinks
だ
he's
って
just
言います
weird,
けど、
but I think he's a
僕はあいつの
genius.
こと、天才だと思ってます。
Carol, stop playing games I'm going to play. I can't get spoiled. I'm sorry. I mean, it's Thursday. It's my visual novel day for it. Oh, welcome in, Iki. At least semi-welcome in, since you can't. You're so right, but man.
なるほど。それには同感か
I
も。
see. I think I agree with you there. If Jackie
ただ、
Chan can kung fu
僕
while
が言い
drunk,
たいの
why not
は、
superhero while
君た
high?
ちが汚れ
True,
という
fair.
魔法の一言だけで殺人者になるような人間じゃ
But
ないって
anyway,
こと。
what I'm saying is that you people aren't the types to magically become murderers just because of some corruption.
もちろん、
Of
やらな
course,
きゃ汚れ
there'd be
だ。
people who do it
最
because the
終的に
corruption
やっ
would
ちゃう
come for
人
them
も
if
いる
they
だろ
didn't.
う。ため
But
らい
even
つ
they
つ、
wouldn't do it without
遠慮がち
hesitation.
にさ。ところが今回、
But the
狼
wolves we're
は
dealing with aren't
何の
hesitating
躊
at
躇も
all.
なくやってる。どこに話を着地させ
I
たい
don't
の
know
か
where
わ
you're
かん
going
な
with
いんです
this,
が、
but I think it depends on the
狼
personality
の
of
性
whoever the
格や
wolf
素質
is.
によるんじゃないですか。もともと人を殺すこ
It'd
と
be
に
easy
抵
for
抗
people
のな
who
い人
never
な
had
ら
any
やっ
aversion
て
to
のける
killing.
んじゃ。狼は2匹いるんだよね。
So wouldn't that just make it obvious who the wolf is then? Don't you think? But there are two wolves, right?
ええ、そのようです
Yeah,
ね。
seems that way.
なるほど。
I see.
じゃあ聞くが、
Let me ask you
こ
this
の
then.
小さな安水という集落
Does
で
Yasumizu have more than one
二人以上の
person that's
殺
capable
人
of
者の
murder?
素質十分な奴がいたか？集団の中に
One
サイ
psycho
コ
in
が
a
一人
group
い
of
るって
people I
よ
could
り、
see,
サイ
but
コが2人
two
いる
seems
方が
pretty
確
unlikely.
率的に、それよりは複数
I
の
think a
まっと
better
うな
assumption
人
is
間
that
を
there's
無作
some
為
way
に
to
集め
turn
て、
even an ordinary
全員
person
一
into
致
a
した殺人者に
ruthless
仕立て
killer.
上げる方法があると考えるべきだ。そうでもなきゃ、
If
こん
that
な
isn't
残酷
true,
なことが
the
行わ
lack
れ
of
ているの
infighting
に、
doesn't make sense
仲
under the
間割れ
current
が起きない説明が
circumstances.
つかない。そう言われると、
When you put it like that, This is just something I heard from a teacher at school,
思想を
but
与えればいいんじゃないです
you
か
could do it by giving them something to fight for, couldn't you?
ふん
Huh?
要は
Basically,
自分たち
you
の
need
してい
to
る
make
こ
them
とが
think that
正
they're
しい
doing
と
the
思
right
えれば
thing.
いいんじゃないかって
That
That the wolves are doing the right thing. I
なるほど。
see.
それは
That's
とて
an
も
interesting
面白
way
い
to
考
look
え
at it.
方だ
It's how
真に
countries
戦
convince their
争をさ
people
せ
to
る
go to
常
war.
套手段
True.
ってわけだええそういう
Yes,
話
that's
の
what
時
the
に
lesson
習
was
いまし
about.
た
But I think that your
No.
perspective is a bit
久石
flawed.
さんの考えちょっとという
How
と
so? What do you mean?
例えばこの集落の
For
女の人は
example,
大体奥ゆ
most
か
of the
しい
girls
し
in this settlement are
決断
timid
も
and
男
prefer to
任せ
leave
の
the
こと
big
が多いで
decisions
す
to the men.
はるちゃんで
Even
さえそんな
Haru-chan
で
is
す
like that. Really?
だから
So if the
狼
wolves
は
are a
男
man
女
and a
の二
woman,
人で
it's
男が
entirely
主導して
possible that the
殺し
man's taking the lead and
女
doing
は
the
完
killing,
全に
while the
人
woman
間
is just following
っ
along.
てパターンもありえ
I
ます
was going to say that it's possible for the psycho to just be doing all the work and the other one is just being timid.
それにそもそも
Also,
今回
for
た
all
ま
we
たま
know,
迷いのない
the wolves
殺
could
人
be
があった
arguing
だ
all
け
the
で
time,
いつも
and
は
they just didn't happen
多
to
少
hesitate
の
in
仲
killing
間割
this
れはあ
one
ったか
time.
もしれない
うんうん。
そりゃ
Yeah,
そうだ
good point.
ただ
But I do
この
think that
読み
there's
耳
some
の
secret
宴
to
が
why
大
this
昔
feast
から
lasted
廃れ
so
ずに
long.
残ってるのには
Traditions
何
like
か
these
秘密
usually
があり
die
そう
out.
でさ絶対確実に
It
殺
makes
さ
me
せる
think
仕
that
組
there
みが
must
な
be
い
a
とい
way
け
to
ないんじ
ensure
ゃ
the
ない
killings
かって
continue.
ねその
Your
点
idea is certainly
君の
interesting.
意見は面白い面白いって言い方はな
I
い
don't
で
think you
しょ
should call it
こんな時
interesting. Not in a situation like this. Don't be too sensitive, my guy. I understand. And you are going to be sensitive about it, but
これはごめん不謹慎だったね
oh,
じゃ
sorry
あ
about that.
もう一つだけ
That
聞
was
かせて
insincere of me. Let me ask you one more thing then.
いいですけど
Go ahead.
さっき僕
I
は
was working under the
あえて不
assumption
思
that
議なこ
nothing
とが起きて
particularly
ない想
strange
定
is
で
happening.
喋ったけど
But
君
what
自
about
身
you?
は不思議な
Do you
こと
think
が
there's
起きて
something
ると思う
mysterious going on?
考えたくないんですけど
I don't want to believe it, but I
起き
think
て
there
ると思
is.
います
Hmm.
それはどうして
Why is that?
神様や
Did you see a
化け物
god or
を見
monsters
た
or
ことが
something?
あるとかいいえ
No.
言いづらいん
It's
です
hard
け
to
ど
put into words, but
こんな偏僻なところ
the
に
fact that the mist
被害者
appeared
が
when we
4
had a
人いる
whole
タイミン
four
グで
outsiders
霧
here
が
made
出
it
たと
feel
ころ
like
か
there was a higher
ら
power
大
at
きな
work.
意志みたいなものを感
Good
じ
night,
ます
Carl. Have a good stream. Take care. Alright, Iki. Have a good one. I actually will be falling behind soon. I'm just looking for a good place to stop. But good night.
No
matter how I look at it, I don't think mist like this could have been produced by human hands. Not to mention that it's strange how the wolves can enter sheltered houses and kill the people there. Yes, may we rest well. There's also the fact that one of us killed someone. You'd see a change in their behavior, or some evidence would be left behind. We can't explain those things, so yes, I do think there's something mysterious going on. Oh, I see. Alright, sorry for asking such a weird question. By the way, who do you think are the wolves? You what? Why me? Chiemi vouches for me. He cut me off with a stern voice. Sorry, but that is something we talk about in the feast. You don't have the right to ask that. Oh, he was just saying my name as in like... He wasn't saying he thinks I'm a wolf. He was just calling my name because I was in trouble. He was being stern. Oh, my bad. Listen, we'll have to hold the feast and decide which one of us should be sacrificed today. It's important to propose who we think is suspicious, but it's also very dangerous. Something we said outside of the feast could be used against us and become a fatal mistake. Oh, smart boy. The fact that you asked me that makes me feel like someone's maliciously using you against me. Please stop. A good point. I'm sorry. Really. Oh, but... Now, I won't blindly believe that you're an ill omen, but I won't stop suspecting that you're involved somehow. If I ever find out you had something to do with Yoshi's death, You'll what? He glared at me. I'll have to avenge my little brother.
そうか。
I see.
まあ当然だね。
Of course you would.
極力疑われない
I'll
よう
just head to
に
the cage and do my best to be as unsuspicious as possible.
いえ、それは
Oh,
やめた方がいい
you
です。
shouldn't do that.
どうして
Why?
今日は長引くかもしれない。
Today's feast might drag
そう
on
なる
until
と夕
evening.
方です。
It might be
時
too
間
late by
切れに
then.
なるかもしれない。寮の部屋に入っ
You
て
should go to your room in the
外
dorm
から
and
使い
ask someone
をしても
outside to
らうの
block
が
the
いいと
door
思い
handle
ま
with a
す。
stick.
なるほど。
I
そり
see.
ゃいい考えだ。
Good idea. This boy was really smart. If Takumi Muro was a site foreman type, he was a manager type. I could see a talent for using people.
僕からも一つだけ
Can I ask something too?
いいですか？
あ
Of
もちろん。
course.
チエネのこと
Do you like
好
Chieni?
きなんですか？
Whoa.
あ。政治的に
From
は
a
そうでも
political
ないよと言
standpoint,
うべきなのかもし
I
れ
should
な
say
いが。
no. But
そうだね。
yeah,
好感
she's
は持ってる
likable.
ね。
そ
I
ですか。
see.
まあ彼女は
Well,
オープンな
she
人柄っ
seems
ぽい
pretty
から、
available,
家
so
は
she'd
付き合っ
probably
てく
date
れ
me
るか
if
もしれ
I
ないな。
or anyone
それは
else
きっと
asked.
僕に限らず。
やだな。何か気を回してます。モッチー
Oh,
が何か
are
吹
you
き込
being
んだんじゃない
considerate
か
of
と
me?
思ってたんです。
I had a feeling that Mochi told you something weird. Mm-hmm.
僕は別に
It's
そ
not
んな
like
じゃな
that.
いです。僕がチエネに憧れてたのは昔の
What I
話
felt
で
for
す。
her is a thing of the past.
近所でた
She
っ
was
た
the
一
only
人の年
other,
上のお姉さん
the
に
only
憧
older
れてた。
girl around these
そ
parts.
れだけですよ。
So I was attracted to her. That's all.
ジメジメ。ガ
This
チガ
place
チな
was
場所で
gloomy and serious, and she was the only free-spirited person here.
モッチー
She's
と
as
同じ
amazing
で
as Mochi.
すごい人です。
昔はやんちゃだったって。
You're saying she was a rascal.
ええ。
Yes,
ま
so
あ
much so
人
that
を
she
殺
almost
し
killed
かけた
someone.
りとか。
ちょっと待って。
Hold on.
ま
Well,
あ、事故
it
で
was
す
an
けど
accident.
ね。
Though it's strange you
た
think
だ、
she's available.
オープンってちょっと
Cheney
意
is
外で
actually
す。
pretty shy.
チエネは結構人見知
Are
り
you
ですよ。
sure about that?
そうかな。
Well, maybe she's shy in terms of like love and relationship, but in every other way, she doesn't seem like it. Is she now?
あるいは、大学の
Or
3
maybe
年
she's
間で
just changed a lot during her
だいぶ
3 years
変わっ
of
ちゃったの
college.
かもしれ
I
な
was
いで
about
す
to
け
say
ど
that
ね。
too, but I wasn't sure.
だから、
So yeah,
僕はもういい
I've
ん
already
です。
gotten over her.
なんだか、君の方が
Now
変
I
に
feel
気を
like
回
you're
し
the
てない
one
か
being weirdly considerate.
あんまり健全じゃないぞ。
That's not
そう
healthy,
い
you
うの
know?
は。別に彼
It's
女
all
が好
good
き
if
な
you
ら
like
それ
her.
でもいいのに。
今はどうにしたって、そん
This
な
is
気分
hardly
じゃ
the
ない
time
で
or
す。
place for that.
ごもっとも。
I wonder, is he doing this so that people don't feel like he's biased towards Chiemi? Because she could be a wolf? And does he have to be delusional in case he has to suspect her? Good point. And that was it, huh? Eventually, everyone gathered and we went to the hall. Not we, went to the hall. And just as I was told, I asked for them to lock me in my room. After getting everyone, including Takumi and Tae-san, to understand, Yasunagi, Chiemi, and I went to the dorm.
チエネ、窓から枝に飛べる？
Chieni, you think he can just jump from the window to the branches?
こりゃ無理でしょ。
No way. Even if he made it down, he couldn't get back.
飛び出たとしても戻れないし。
The two verified how secure a place this was to lock me up in. If they were the wolves, it'd be impossible to outwit them. Humans stood no chance.
そんなわけで閉じ込めちゃうよ。
Anyway,
間
we're
に合った
locking you
ら
in.
開きに来るけど。
We'll come open it up if we have
最
time,
悪、明日の
but you
朝
might
ま
end
で
up
この
staying
まま
like this until morning.
わかった。
Alright,
仕方ないさ。
fine by me.
かなりきついだろう
It's
け
gonna be
ど
hard, but I hope
無
you'll
事
do
な進
well.
行を祈ってる。
どうも。
Thanks.
悪いね。
Sorry you're caught up in the
こんな
problems of
腐っ
such
た
a
村を
crappy
心配して
village.
もらっちゃ
僕は。
I'm
君を
more worried
心
about
配してる
you.
んだけどね。
わーお、嬉しい。
Wow, isn't that nice?
ちえみ
I'll
さ
do
ん
my
頑張って
best.
きますわ。
いいですか？
All done?
So, yeah,
We're locking you in then.
ああ。
Yeah. You be careful too, Yasunagi.
安永君。
You're now your mother's
お
only
母さん
child.
にはもう君しかいないんだから
I said Gi. Yasunaga.
ええ、その通りですね。
Yes, that's true. And so, the door was closed. I could hear them set up the stick. So far, the only ones I'd talked to face to face were Chieni, Takumi, Mochi, and Yasunaga. Just 4. The ones I hadn't talked to were Taeyama Yawaki, Rikako Yue Matsu, Meiko, Kaori Orebe, Harumaki Shima, Hiyonosuke no Sato, the old wolf guy, a whole 7. Struggled through all those names. Thanks so much for listing them all off. That was fun. I had no idea if there was significance in that, but I wanted to know what kind of people they all were. 4 people had already died, and if you ignored me, there were 11 left. Once the snake revealed what Kiyonosuke was, he and the snake, Takumi, would be the only ones with confirmed roles, and the other 9 would be suspects. When one was hanged, there'd be 8, and when one died in the night, there'd be 7, which was still quite a lot. They had to hurry before it was too late. The humans had to act now.
おこんにちは。
Not to mention, we don't even know if Kanzo was like a guardian. Hello.
うわなんだ
Whoa. What? The supposedly fixed door slightly opened up. It was Jamie.
忘れてたけど、今日のご飯
I forgot,
渡せない
but I
かも
might
だ
not
か
be
ら
able to give you your dinner.
最悪
So
こ
have
こで
this,
済
at
むで
least. She threw me a yellow food box. The kind you could find in any convenience store.
毎日本当にありがと
Seriously.
気にしないで。
Don't mind it.
う代わりと言ってはなんだけど
By the way.
なんだろ
What?
猿のカゴ車は
Tell the
二
monkeys
人
to
とも
reveal
名乗り出させた
themselves.
方がいい
う。なんで
Why?
考えればわかるはずだ
Think about it.
手を打たな
You'll
ければ先が
understand.
ないことも
And you know you have to do something before it's too late. Yeah. Asking the monkeys to say the name of the other person out loud. There's no way the wolves could fake that. Unless the wolves knew who the monkeys were. Well, even then, the monkeys would say each other. Yeah, there's nothing the wolves could do about that. Not to mention, if Kanzo was a monkey and he's dead, the monkey left would be like, it was Kanzo and me. I guess the wolves could take that and could use that to their advantage and be like, no, we're the monkeys, and say their names. But if they did that, they could be investigated then by the snake. They could either hang no one and investigate one of the monkeys, one of the 3 monkeys, or they could hang the one that said Kanzo was a monkey, and then investigate the other 2 monkeys. So I agree with them. I think it would definitely be sensible for the monkeys to reveal themselves.
知恵ね、何やってるの？
Chine, what are you doing?
時間がない
There's no time. Go.
うん。
Yeah,
わかった。
okay. The question is, will the monkeys do it? She closed the door and put the stick back. Alright, what next?
はるちゃん、傷は大丈夫？
Haru-chan, is your wound alright? Should I pause it here? It's either get everyone in a shot again, which feels like it'll just be the same. Actually, no, there'd be some missing people. I could get a thumbnail of everyone again with the missing people. Should I keep going? Because I could use this. We'll see. Haru-chan, is your wound alright?
平気だけど。
It's fine.
今聞くのもあれ
I
だ
know
け
it's
ど
not a good time to ask, but what happened?
何があったの？
結構危なかったよ。
It was pretty bad. I'll tell you that much.
知らない。
Whatever. Let's just start.
始まるわよ。
Yeah, see, it's everyone, but with missing people.
夜耳の宴の始まりよ。
You know what? Sure, why not? Let's begin the feast? Let's not. Let's save that for next time. Let me save. Save here. Turn. Menu. Hide. There we go. This will work. I will call it here until next Thursday for this game. Because it is 11 p.m. for me, and I do need to get to sleep and work tomorrow. But at least we did go past 2 hours, so that's good. But I will call it here. And I will find someone to read on Twitch. And hopefully the person who... There was someone who had a birthday. Hopefully they're still streaming, but I doubt it. But thank you everyone for hanging out with me. Those who were in chat and those who are lurking, I appreciate it. I hope you all have a good morning, day, or night, whatever time it is for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone. Let me see if that birthday stream is still going.
In a room where shadows loom, a man sits deep in gloom, with a pen held tight in hand, sketching dreams that understand. Walls may close, the night may fall, but his spirit stands tall.
Oh yeah, they're still having a birthday. So raid message 3. Raid message 4.
Where dreams are free. With a pen he built his dreams, turning silence into streams. In his mind he's never alone, crafting realms he calls his own. Paper whispers, secrets told, journeys inked in black and bold. Mountains climb or rivers bend, in the world that he can mend. He may be confined and still, yet his heart is wild with thrill. Through each line a sky so wide, in his world he takes a ride. Every size painted bright, stars that gleam in darkest night. With a pen his spirit sings, soaring high.